Namaskar. Today we celebrate the 75th Constitution Day, honoring the vision and tireless efforts of our founding mothers and fathers. On 26th November 1949, the Indian Constitution was adopted, a significant milestone in our nation's history. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the Constituent Assembly, formed in 1947, drafted this monumental document, which came into effect on 26 January 1950. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of the land and remains the longest written constitution of any country in the world.
The preamble describes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic that strives to secure justice, liberty, and equality for all its citizens. The Constitution Day serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of democracy and the rule of law. In the context of our country's ever-evolving socio-political landscape, how do we continue to uphold these principles? Are they still as relevant today as they were at the time of adoption? Let's join together to listen to the experts discuss the significance of this day and explore what it means to live by the values enshrined in our Constitution.
The Constitution is a supreme legal document of the land. It is the prime law of the land. It lays down framework that demarcates power, duties, fundamental rights of citizens, political code, structure, procedure, directive principles, etc. Constitutional morality is very important. That is an idea that the Constitution is a moral document and it guides the actions of the government, it guides the actions of the citizens, and therefore the Constitution has to be followed in all aspects by the citizens, by the structure in a democratic system. Preamble of the Constitution starts with "We the people of India." We means women, men, all caste, all religions, all cultures. It's a unity in diversity. So the Constitution begins with equality. The sovereignty lies with the citizens of this country, and Constitution ensures to all citizens, irrespective of race, religion, caste, sex and place of birth, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. However, when it comes to implementation, there comes money power, muscle power and mafia and politics. Therefore, many times either justice is delayed or justice is denied. What we need is the strict implementation of the constitutional values in its letter and spirit. Judiciary tries its level best to uphold the constitutional values, communal harmony, rights of minorities, peace and harmony in the nation. Well, when it comes to religious freedom, Supreme Court said, right to profess one's religion is one's fundamental right, and Article 25 guarantees to every citizen right to profess one's faith, propagate, practice anti-conversion laws passed in different states based on Article 25 of the Constitution. Such law is anti-constitution and it is to target certain sections of the society, and it is politically motivated. Now, coming to minorities' rights to education or establish and administer education institutions, there are landmark judgments. That is TMA Pai judgment in 2002. Supreme Court said Article 30 Clause 1 is a protective, a special right to minorities to establish and administer education institutions of their choice. So that itself shows that it is not to discriminate but to bring equality in the country. So in that way too, judiciary tries its best to establish equality.
Does our constitution face serious challenges. Is the democracy in India under threat? These are the questions raised by not only ordinary people but even academics. Looking around, 80% of our people are declaringly poor, requiring free ration. The oppression of Dalits and Adivasis are rampant. Patriarchy is roaring. So the constitutional dream of a casteless and a just society, has it come true? Ambedkar had warned us, only with a political democracy you won't be able to keep the democracy going unless social democracy, that is secularism, and economic democracy, that is socialism, if they are not put into practice. It appears his warning has come true. He has also warned that constitutional morality is to be cultivated if India wants to keep the democracy, because according to him, democracy in India is only a top dressing on the Indian soil. And according to him, constitutional morality depends on and based on fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual. What can we do to save our constitutional democracy? Sadly, the Ambedkar's remedy. We have to bring about a morality revolution, a cultural revolution which will include a constitutional spirituality in every heart of the Indians, a revolution of love, a revolution bringing in fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual. Ambedkar and the drafting committee had warned us, please don't put anything above the dignity of the individual. When the amendment was moved to amend the preamble in the Constituent Assembly, placing the unity of the nation before the dignity of the individual, the drafting committee seriously opposed and said, without assuring the dignity of the individual, no unity of the nation can be assured. How is our judiciary helping us in this situation? We are sorry to say that democracy in its form and in function both is very far from our constitutional dream. Of course, our population consists of Adivasis, Dalits and backwards, amounting to about 80%. But look at the structure of our judiciary. How many of the judges are from these groups? Let us also look at the number of women adorning the judicial chairs. Now coming back to the real functioning, the jails are filled with under trials. How is the judiciary helping us and the democracy and the constitution? If we look at the form and function of the judiciary in India, in its form, it is not at all representative. About 75-80% of the population consists of Dalits, Adivasis and backwards. Their share in the judiciary is very pathetic. Women, they are not adorning many chairs in the judiciary. About the function, the victims of cruelty, the victims of violations of secularism, caste violence and economic disparities, they are not getting justice from the judiciary. Even the interpretation of the constitution, with a few exceptions, recently have been against the soul of the constitution as expressed in the objectives resolution moved by Nehru. It is also against the Gandhian test mantra that have the last and the least person before you when you make the constitution or interpret the constitution. The very socialism and the property rights have been watered down, even commenting on the earlier interpretation as bad, which in fact was more socialistic than the present interpretation. So there is an urgent need to bring in a moral revolution based on the constitutional values, making them go into the veins and arteries of the populace, the fleshy hearts of the people. Otherwise, as Ambedkar has warned us, we may lose even the political democracy in the absence of social and economic democracy.
As Christians, we are reminded of the profound alignment between the constitutional values and the core teachings of Jesus. The call for justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity resonates deeply with the message of Christ, who taught us to uphold the dignity of every person, to love one another, and work towards peace and harmony. As laborers in God's kingdom, we are called to resist the forces of darkness that manifest in the form of hatred, greed, and injustice. Let us not shy away from raising our prophetic voice to build a society where compassion triumphs over division, where the marginalized are empowered, and where every individual can flourish in freedom and dignity.
On this Constitution Day, let us recommit ourselves to these shared values, living as responsible citizens who seek the common good, guided by faith, hope, and love. Let us move forward with courage, conviction, and compassion. Thank you for joining us.